Well, today I'm celebrating a milestone. I've got all the wire and pipe in the ground for my infrastructure project. So this is the front yard. In a previous video I showed the back. I still need to wire up to the workshop and punch those wires through the wall. But I've got a trench over here going to the west side of the property. I've got this trench going out towards the front. Got some junction areas. So out here I've got wiring for lights, so there's switched and non-switched outlets, and then I have dedicated circuits for adding an electric gate later. And this was a lot of fun. So I had to run the pipe under the driveway, so I ended up pulling all the pavers up and digging a trench, laying the pavers back down. There has been some settling, so I'll have to pull them up and level it up a little better. It was kind of wet when I did it. But my first attempt, I tried to just shove a pipe under the ground. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of this method. Just, put water on a pipe and try to shove it under the driveway. That did not work at all. I just kept getting rocks and stuff, and I suspect that wherever it went, it wasn't going anywhere near straight. But what I did is, because I had made that hole, which went about 5 feet under, and this is probably about 15 feet wide here, I ran a long tube and I put expanding foam in that hole, just so I don't end up with like a cavern under there and having the ground fall out at some point in time. So I ran that under the driveway, and then I have a section here. This goes all the way up to the front gate, and I was going to have an outlet midway on each side. I'm not sure I really need that, plus it's more work. So what I did is, I didn't cut the wire. This is a 12-3 UF underground feeder wire. I just kind of looped the wire up here and then continued to the front, and then I just put these access holes. So down the road, since there's no break in there, I don't need an actual electrical box. But down the road at some point, I could go ahead and pull those wires up and add an outlet here as well. So trenched all the way up. I kind of went the wrong way on my trench the first time. I thought I'd weave through those trees, then I thought that's a dumb idea. I just went around everything. So the final outlet on these legs goes to the fence, and I'm just going to screw electrical boxes right on this fence post. And again, there's 2 wires, one for the lighting, one for power for a gate controller. That's a dedicated circuit. So it's about 16 feet from the gate. There's going to be a 15-foot grassy strip along the driveway, so I wanted that outside of that grassy strip. And then I can just run that wire to the gate controller later. And here we are on the other side. Got the same setup here. And then this just runs back. I've got another one of those boxes, or it's actually it's for a valve. But I went ahead and buried one along here as well, so I could put an outlet on this side as well. So here's another one of those. It's an irrigation control valve box is what it is. ICV stamped right on it. And then up here, closer to the house, it's where a bunch of the wires come together. There'll be an electrical outlet here, again for lighting. So we're right in front of the house here. And then that also goes to the side. And then everywhere that there's a irrigation valve along the side, there's also electrical there. So that'll be, again, it'll have a switched and a non-switched circuit. And I've got 5 of those along each side of the property. So pretty heavily wired. I'm real happy I got all the burial done. So I've got a lot of work ahead of me filling in these ditches, but at least the worst of it's over. So I'm going to get to that and talk to you next week. Thanks.